the Beanie and Cecil Show.
Come go sailing, we've waited long enough. For Beanie and Cecil, there's Honest John and Captain Huff and Puff. It's time for adventure.
Oh, some fun.
Oh, joy.
With Cecil the Sea, Six Sea Serpent, and good old Beanie. Boy, 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 boy. But you.
Join us for fun with Beanie and...
Lovable, gullible, harmless, harmless, 10-foot tall and wet. Cecil the Sea, Six Sea Serpent, created by Bob Cladpet.
Oh, my goodness.
So come on, kids, let's flip our...
Oh, I remember. That was such a great cartoon way back when, but, you know, the song is definitely corny. And a very good morning to you. Very, very good Saturday. The first Saturday show in Standard Time. Not bad. I'm still a little thrown off. I'm getting adjusted. My thought is, why not just keep it at standard time? Let's forget about daylight savings. Do we really need that extra hour late at night? I'm serious. I mean, it's all you're doing is transferring 1 hour. Whether it's an hour that you have that's lighter earlier in the morning, which I guess would be around, in the peak of summer, sometime around 3:30. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, Brian's Beat, we're here. The only show born at the apex of freedom, entrepreneurship, and nomadism. ABC has told us what they want us to know. Now I will tell you what I want you to know. Bruins. Boston Bruins. Big difference this weekend compared to last weekend. They're on a winning streak right now, and they host the Ottawa Senators tonight. The Celtics, they won in overtime last night over the Brooklyn Nets. I think the score was 108 to 104. Patriots. I don't know what to think of the Patriots. There's a glimmer of light when you sit there and you watch the Patriots game. And I guess it's because of Drake May. I'm not quite sure. But every time that I see Drake May run with the ball, I've got this fear. And this fear is he might not get up. 2 games ago, he got a concussion, and he did get up, but he played a couple of downs, and he never came back. Anyway, Patriots in Chicago, and you can hear the game right here on WBSM, starting with the pregame. We'll have that for you at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. What else? If you have been keeping count, 20 more days till... You got that right. And 46 shopping days before Christmas. And it's another skirt alert day. Yeah. Gusty winds will make it blustery. The big red flag is up there, so you got to watch out for brush fires. The message reads, we're closing this Sunday because of my stroke. The VFW in Fairhaven is also $180,000 in the red. Call it Parallel Products 2.0, another proposed waste facility slated for the New Bedford Business Park. Congressman Seth Moulton says he doesn't want his daughters getting run over by male athletes. Tip your servers accordingly. Voters said no to granting them minimum wage. Donald Trump wins an electoral landslide. Maura Healey vows the state police won't be used in a mass migration removal project. We're going to have more in that chess match after the Brian's Beat quote of the day. Veteran Jim talks Veterans Day on his Town Square Sunday preview. The Bitcoin Biz Barometer, next half hour. Monthly FeeRx brings us the Brian's Beat quote of the day after we learn a little bit more about today, November 9th, 2024. Now, I know there's some good reason for it. I don't know the reason. I didn't bother to look. Just going to tell it to you. It's Carl Sagan Day. Carl Sagan Day. There must be a great reason. It's Carl Sagan Day. I wonder if it's one of those things that kids must learn in school. Speaking of that, I've got something that a former producer of mine, just got to write this down for a second. Okay. Yep. What else do we have? Oh, go to an art museum today. I don't know how often you go to art museums. I know that there's going to be an exhibit going on at the Dartmouth Cultural Center. Woman friend will have some paintings up. Call that an art museum. But today is Go to an Art Museum Today Day. It's also National Chaos Never Dies Day. I guess not. A lot of political talk still going on. The election ended on Tuesday. And yes, I have some to bring forward too. National Child Safety Council Day. National Scrapple Day. That's pork mixed in with a whole bunch of other junk that you probably don't want to eat anyway. National Scrapple Day. Hope I've never had it. Don't want to try it. Doesn't even sound good. Wine Tourism Day. For those that like wine, this is your day. Go to one of your local wineries. It is also World Adoption Day. World Adoption Day. Also World Freedom Day. Interesting. World Freedom. What if it's really being celebrated around the world? World Freedom Day. Is it one of those days that the Russians stop lobbing bombs at the Ukraines? Is it one of those days that the Ukrainians don't lob anything toward the Russians? Will Israel not shoot at anybody? Will the anybodies not shoot at Israel? And there are also other hot spots around the globe. It's World Freedom Day. Let everybody be free. Speaking of free, imagine on this date in 1620, you're on some boat called the Mayflower, and you see land over there. After a while, they said, we're not going to call it land anymore. We're going to call it Cape Cod. Cape Cod discovered. Well, again, what do you think the Native Americans were thinking? Hey, we've been discovered by the folks in the Mayflower. Not bad. 1887. The United States received the rights to Pearl Harbor. There was a computer glitch at NORAD on this date in 1979. You might remember this one. Folks thinking that the Soviet Union was conducting a nuclear attack. As we know right now, false alarm. But remember what we were thinking? Remember the news reports? Even Walter Cronkite. 1989, go ahead. Take a peek East Germany allows its citizens to walk into West Berlin without being shot. Now, I'm just imagining what the first couple of people must have been thinking when they're walking up to the wall. They hear it's okay to go from East Berlin into West Berlin. And, of course, the sentries, the East German guards, they're there anyway, and they're saying, oh, go ahead. Do you want to be that first person? Go ahead. And don't worry. Well, we won't shoot. Yeah, okay, yeah. What about all those other people? No, it's all over. Yeah, I don't know. Would you want to be one of the first to go from East Berlin to West Berlin on that date in 1989? Of course, they walked in, the first couple of people, this is the story that I've heard, first couple of people walked in, took a quick peek, and turned around and walked back. 1998. United States courts ordered 37 brokerage houses to cough up more than $1 billion after they were caught cheating NASDAQ investors. More than $1 billion. As it turns out, that was nothing more than a cost to do business. Whew. 37, think about it. I think the number was 1.3 billion. Divide that by 37. I don't know if it had to be broken up evenly or not. But just think about that for a second. That's what you have to pay in order to stay afloat in business. This leads us to the Brian's Beat quote of the day. It comes to you as a courtesy of Monthly Fee RX. If you're spending less than $20 a month for prescription drugs, great. If not, then our Monthly Fee RX service might be a good option for you. Check for yourself at monthlyfeerx.com. And if you have been following along all week with the Brian's Beat quotes of the day, you know that we have been doing famous quotes from different presidents. Today, my favorite president, John Adams. John Adams. Liberty cannot be preserved without general knowledge among the people. Liberty cannot be preserved without general knowledge among the people. I think that makes sense. I don't know how it played out this past week. Of course, you know and I know that the election was on Tuesday. All right, let's hear from you at 508-996-0500. Brian's Beat on WBSM. Welcome back. You know, I don't know that we call it Veterans Day weekend, although Veterans Day is on a Monday. We celebrate Veterans Day every November 11th. It's like Independence Day is celebrated on the 4th, New Year's Day on the 1st, Christmas on the 25th. Most of the other holidays are Monday holidays with the exception of Thanksgiving. Just happens that the 11th is falling on a Monday, so it makes it a long day, a long weekend for many workers. And it's sad to learn that the VFW in Fairhaven is closing down. Now, I've only been in there a couple of times, back in the days when I would have a brewski or two, just go in there and have a beer, no big deal. And people seem to be having a good time in there. Well, apparently, folks have been having a good time, but the commander had a stroke, and now the commander put up on a Facebook page that they're also $180,000 in debt. Whew. That'd be enough to give somebody a stroke. At any rate, the last day of operation is tomorrow. Ironically, the day before Veterans Day, or maybe it's done like that for a reason. You certainly don't want to close down on Veterans Day. And I'm not quite sure when the VFW started. Maybe it was something that was introduced on a Veterans Day. I don't know. I do know that the VFW on, I think it's Middle Street in Fairhaven, last day of operation is tomorrow. And yes, I'm correct about the address, 109 Middle Street, Fairhaven. Wow. All right. Well, hate to see something like that happening on Veterans Day, or Veterans Day weekend. But I think VFWs, American Legions, Lions Clubs, Key Clubs, Kiwanis, I think they're all going through something very similar, and that they're having a very difficult time. Elks would be thrown in there also, trying to get members. And if you can't get members pay dues, well, then you're kind of sunk. I think that there was a particular time when these clubs opened up and they were basically for men. Men would go there and shoot the you-know-what, and moms would be at home with the kids doing the ironing, that kind of stuff. But this is a different day. And some of these clubs have opened up. Now, VFW is different. You have to have had served in a foreign war. But some of these social clubs are different, and they have allowed women for several decades now. And yet, membership is low. Could be for the same reason that many other people are struggling financially. They just don't have the money to put in for a social club at this particular time. At any rate, that VFW, if your last call for alcohol, so to speak, is mañana. 508-996-0500. Hello.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, Brian. That was funny.
Oh, okay.
Let's call for alcohol. Anyway, listen, I hate to tell you this, but it's really not that. People have been stealing from them places for years.
VFWs, you mean?
Oh, yeah, and the other one down the road, because I bought a plaque for my father. He was in the war. I paid over $100 for it. It's up on the ceiling. Who knows? The one across from Mame's, who knows where it ended up. But,
That's right. Is that a VFW there, too?
Yeah, but it's not that. They call it, what was that called? I can't remember because I'm just waking up. It
is a club. I do know that. I
Not anymore. It's gone. They're doing that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
I didn't know that
a while back.
Wow.
But
I used to see people. I used to pick up people over there.
Yeah, I know it for a fact that they their hands are in the till. In fact, the one that you're talking about, it's all started with a work of playing Keno heavy and not putting the money back in the till and playing games for $200, and sitting there and then hoping they're going to come out, and it was and then they got the place in debt. That's how the debt started. And after that, in fact, the person even put their name, the house and the son's name. They never persecute at the VFWs. It's their fault. They let them go. They should pay the money back. Every single one that's got caught doing things, they don't make them pay back. It's a screwed up operation, really. And,
well, maybe, but is there a way to... I hear you, maybe get the folks to pay the money back, but is there another way that these clubs can survive?
No, and you know what, Brian? It's because they don't own them. They want to be owners, so they get in. They want some control and power. They take the position over, and they start out good. Oh, they're in the kitchen, and then they got a little bit of food, and then they're making it look real good so the public thinks they're doing a good job. They'll dilly-dally and change it up a little bit, and then before you know it, it's the same thing going on again. They're in the till, and they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it goes on and on. So now we don't have one there. And it's sad because it's not only because of the veterans, but, I mean, it's a good, clean place to get a reasonable price drink.
And you're right about the reasonably priced.
Right.
No doubt about that.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Now there's not one here. There's not the other one down there. Wame's has been gone for some time now. There was one on Park Street near the funeral home. They ruined that one, too.
Park Street in New Bedford?
Yeah.
That one's closed, too?
Oh, yeah. That was Day Hill Post.
Really? Well, you can see, I know the one in Dartmouth is still open. They've got, or they just had something going on, or they have something coming up in just a bit. I drive by that one all the time.
Where's that one?
On Crossroad.
Oh, yeah, that one's, he says they're doing good there, but who knows, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. But anyway, they said somebody else is overlooking, they overlook it. That's a little one, but the one on Appleton Street was
big.
Nice. Appleton Street, that same thing went on with the Keno. Playing heavy games, betting. They take over as managers, and then they think they own the place. It's awful. And that got shut down because of that. And they had a beautiful hall there. They did meat raffles. It was a big one. That was a nice one, too. It's too bad. They ruined it. They got no pride. These people, it's awful.
Okay.
It's only getting worse. But I'm a member of the Elks, and I don't know. I don't think they, as I known yet, that any one of them's folded up because of that.
Which Elks do you belong to?
Well, they did. Somebody did ruin the one in New Bedford by doing that, by the way. So what happened I'm in Wareham. The one.
Oh, okay. You're not the one on Cottage and I guess North.
That's not a real Elks. That one. That's not. I don't believe that's a real Elks. I was told it's called the Black Elks. I don't know, but that's all dilapidated. Whoever was running that one, but this is. No, the one in New Bedford was down in the historic district.
Yes,
I
know that one.
Pleasant Street. Yeah, but it's gone now because someone did the same thing. They took it over. It was somebody that was from the police department too that took a position and then did the bar over, and that's how they can hide money. Make them believe they're spending on this and that, whatever. And so anyway. And there's alcohol involved, so people aren't thinking straight, I guess. But don't ask me. They're trusting the person that's in charge. And that one got ruined. No charges put on the person or anything. And so what happened was, because I was at the meeting at the Wareham Elks when I became a member, they bought the liquor license, and I believe they sold it, and they paid all the bills off in New Bedford and sold the building.
Wow.
And combined it to be the Wareham New Bedford Elks.
Gotcha. I'm going to let you go with that because I got to get over to Jim in Studio 6 and 7/8. But I do appreciate it. Thanks for the update and the info on that, because you hate to see these kind of places close. But I still think membership is down. If they had more members, who knows? They might still be in the red, but very few people go to all of these different clubs. I mean, how many clubs do you really need? 508-996-0500. Okay, let's hear from Jim. Find out what's going on. Town Square Sunday, which comes your way at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, right here on WBSM.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Here's what's happening this week on Town Square Sunday. An historic election on Tuesday, and Ken Manning, the chair of the UMass Dartmouth Political Science Department, stops by to dissect the outcome and what lies ahead. Also, Big Brothers Big Sisters is celebrating 75 years of service to young people in need. We'll talk with Rebecca Kerner to learn what's happening in the Southeast region. And Veterans Day is Monday. Dartmouth Veterans Agent Matt Brule tells us what's on tap for Dartmouth veterans on this special day. I'm Jim Phillips. Join me for Town Square Sunday. Sunday morning this week at 6 on 1420 WBSM 99.5 FM.
Thank you very much, Jim. We do have the Bitcoin Biz Barometer coming your way in just a little bit. A couple of things that I'd like to bring up. One, used to be a big topic here prior to all of the election talk. Parallel products. Remember, Parallel Products wanted to move in to the industrial park? Well, apparently they've changed their name from Parallel Products of New England to the SouthCoast Renewables. But they still have the same plan. And my guess is you're going to have a lot of neighbors up around the industrial park that are going to be beefing. And I get it. You don't want to be smelling. You don't want the trucks just pounding away in the roads, the noise that's associated. This new solid waste facility would be processing up to 1,500 tons of solid waste every day. Every day. That's a lot. If you live up in that area, love to hear from you, because I know you have to be sitting there thinking, I thought we stopped this. I thought we stopped it. Well, my guess is you didn't. But you have a chance, because on Wednesday evening at the Pulaski School, there's going to be a meeting with the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. They're going to come down and they're going to talk to you, apparently listen to what residents have to say in regard to this. Well, should be interesting. 508-996-0500. Hello.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Well, Kenny and Barry were right. He won.
Yeah, I did you think he wasn't going to win?
I had a feeling he was going to win, but I don't know what to say. If anything bad happens, people that voted for him are accountable for it, and they'll just have to pay
But they won't be accountable for it. They, first of all, are you going to turn around and blame them? And you think they're going to listen?
People ain't going to tell you they vote for him if things turn out bad. No, I didn't vote for him.
Right. Think about it this way. Back when Hitler became the chancellor of Germany,
Yep.
He got voted in. How many people do you think sat around after the crap hit the fan? They said, oh, you're going to have to blame me now for what happened. You think a lot of people did that?
Nope.
Yeah, well.
I think it's going to be well, you got to remember, he's old, too, so he might, I'm not, now you got to listen to me when I'm not saying anything offensive or anything like that. He's an old man. He could end up dying in office.
Yeah, anybody can end up dying in office.
So,
all right, let's not worry about the age. Let's worry about how the brain works.
Well, there's going to be probably a bumpy road ahead.
You think?
Maybe not, but the Trump supporters seem to think everything's going to be wonderful.
Well, look, Elon Musk came out the other day and said that expect a couple of years where the economy is not going to be all that good. So if they didn't hear that, well, that's on their shoulder. That's on their shoulder. So let me, since you brought it up, I was going to save that topic for a little bit, but since you brought it up, let me ask you.
What?
Maura Healey is saying that the state police cannot be used or will not be used if Donald Trump wants to come in and try to take those that are here undocumented out of the state. Do you agree with
actually,
her, or do you agree with him?
You know what? I actually, as far as illegal immigrant goes, I never had a problem with them deporting illegal immigrants because they didn't come here legally. So that's not my issues with Donald Trump.
Okay, well that's fine, but that's the question, because now she's pitting herself and her administration against his administration.
And she's saying the state police ain't going to interfere.
Well, that's what look. I look at it this way, and I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. But she's playing with house money.
Oh, she is. She's a scumbag.
That's right.
Maura Healey is a terrible governor.
Well, some people believe, not necessarily me, that if she keeps going down the road that she is going, that she won't win re-election as governor. I'm not quite sure. I think there's 2 years before the next election. And if she wants to hold on to that seat, she will learn how to right the ship. The Democrats are sitting there right now plotting away at what they're going to try to do to change things. So when 2026 comes around, they could at least wrestle control of one branch of Congress, and they want to hold on to as many governorships as possible.
I don't know. I don't see Haley getting reelected on. Well, this
Why
is
not?
Massachusetts.
Why that? Let's put on our thinking caps for a second. Donald Trump had an electoral landslide. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
Now, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, who had the landslide? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Harris.
Okay.
Moved him away in
So
Massachusetts.
there you go. Why would you not think that people are still in the camp of Maura Healey?
Yeah, you got a good point there.
Just a thought.
Why did Charlie Baker leave anyway? Charlie Baker was a lot better than Maura Healey.
He did 2 years. He had that whole pandemic thing his last 2 years. Excuse me, he did 2 terms. And the last couple of years, he had the crisis called pandemic. And he wanted better, and he's getting a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a tough job being governor, too.
My guess, it's a tougher job being governor than it is being the head of the NCAA.
I don't know.
Okay.
But we haven't had. When was the last time we had a good governor? What?
Charlie Baker, I guess.
That's debatable. I don't even think a lot of people like Dukakis.
In my book, the best governor that we had was Bill Weld. But that goes back to the 1990s.
Yeah, I remember him. He was good.
All right.
But
Hey, thanks for the call.
take care, Brian.
You too. I do appreciate your call. Let us continue. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Our great governor, everything, it's quite hypocrisy when you listen to quite a few things that are going on. So the governor, not that long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I think maybe it was in the summer, was she not on TV complaining about how the state was busting at the seams with all the illegals that were coming in, and that we couldn't sustain, because she wasn't getting federal money. Our president wasn't helping with the burden of, having to put people up in hotels and food stamps and all the freebies that they were getting.
You are correctly paraphrasing.
Okay, so, people have, it's funny because people have short-term memories. So one minute you're complaining that, this is going on, and now you're resisting the situation that the state could get help with just because you're a Democrat and you don't like it that Donald Trump got in and was elected
as the president. You know what? That's all that all comes down to. It's the same
But
thing.
isn't that what they play all the time? It doesn't have to be Maura Healey. The same thing is going on in California, and,
Right. Well,
and my guess is many other Democratic states. You're going to hear this resistance.
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to mention the whole California thing. Right. So what she's trying to do is she's just following suit of what California is doing, because he's the one that, if I'm not mistaken, started saying first he wasn't going to play the Trump politics, that he was going to resist this and resist that. And they seem to forget that we, the people, elect them to serve us, not for them to serve their ego, because that's basically what it's coming down to. You know, they're serving their ego because they don't want to bend down a little, for who now the president is, so that the state doesn't get hurt by federal money. And, the other hypocrisy, which, I didn't get a chance to call yesterday, either during Barry or Chris's radio time, was, I had heard on another morning show people calling in, which, cracks me up. We've been talking about the whole women's rights movement, my choice, my body, with the abortion issue, which, to be honest with you, listen, I get it. Myself with the whole abortion, you're right. It's my body, my right to decide what I want to do. But isn't it funny that we didn't see all these people complaining, my body, my right, when it came to the COVID shot situation? All the people that lost their jobs because they got the COVID shot mandated, stuck up their butt. Well, what happened to that? What happened to that? It's my body, my choice. So, the hypocrisy, it's pretty funny. You get to pick and choose.
While I hear what you're saying, and I'm speaking from a man's side, a man that did not take the shot, my guess is you didn't get that type of repercussion because there was that fear out there that you could be spreading something to other people. And then that way it really isn't just your body, your choice.
Well, no, because there were many people in the medical field that were, up in arms about really being adamant that they didn't, why do I have to take the shot?
Yeah, I agree with you, but Dr. Fauci said otherwise.
Right, and back then, I'm in my 60s, and I remember that, I don't know, when the whole flu mandated came into play in the medical field, because as a kid and as a teenager and a young adult and even till a mid-adult, I don't ever remember the medical field mandating flu shots either, because, again, I get it. There's things that evolved, but when it came to the flu shot, you got the flu shot if you wanted. Nobody made you take the flu shot if you worked in the medical field.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Going to let you go with that, though, because I've got other calls and I got the barometer, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you. 508-996-0500. Let's go to the Bitcoin Biz Barometer, where we measure the universal crypto marketplace. Whew. Now, I don't know if this is because of the election. Actually, I do know. It isn't because of the election. It is because of different things that have been going on monetarily and what went on with BRICS just a couple of weeks ago. But things are really looking up. Bitcoin, $76,574. That's up almost $7,000 from last week at this time. Ethereum, $3,034, up 516. Solana at 200, up 34. Binance Coin up $54 at 629. XRP up a nickel at 56 cents. Dogecoin 20 cents, that's up 4 cents. And Tron is even at 16 cents. And that's your Bitcoin Biz Barometer for today, November 9, 2024. As always, I get my numbers from coinmarketcap.com. I was actually typing down the numbers onto the computer screen, and I just watched one of the numbers actually change right then as I was typing away. So I just say that to you because these numbers are always being updated. That's your Bitcoin Biz Barometer for today. Let's take one more before the break. Hello.
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 You never took your shot, huh? I don't know if I can talk to you. I might catch COVID on the phone.
You know what? This microphone, it gets contaminated so much.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I can talk to you. I might get COVID on the phone. I have as good a chance of catching COVID on the phone as standing next to you when you got your shot, when you didn't get your shot. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, I think that there's some interesting things going on. By the way, stock market on Wednesday went up 1,500 points, which is great.
I think 1,200 yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'm not expecting this to go forever, but this is just investment in the U.S. since Trump has indicated that he's very pro-business. So it's just typical that, money's going to flow into the U.S. to promote pro-business activities. So that's natural. But I think what's interesting is I want to ask you this question. So the predominant Republican Party is actually moving more to the center. He's not going to have anyone that's a neocon in his staff and team at all. I mean, they've actually signaled that pretty hard. They want to end wars. They don't want to, move that forward. They want to focus on the U.S., focus on people. That's why so many people came out and voted, 5 million in the popular vote. And when I look at the left, I see a lot of fight. We're going down with the ship. Maura Healey and the other governors came out with a very similar message yesterday, the Democrat governors, which was, we're fighting, we're resistance, Hillary Clinton. I think they're stupid. I mean, they're not reading tea leaves. They look at what happened in this vote on Tuesday. There was a predominance of people that were solidly in their party that moved away. And so you have to kind of say, like Bernie Sanders, why are they moving away? Because what you're doing is becoming a white elitist, non-religious, highly educated. That's the party. It's the elite party of the elite now, not the party of the people. So I guess, Brian, my question is, if you're in charge of the Democratic and the DNC, I'm wondering if they came out tomorrow and said they're going to firewall the far left and say, we are not, the Democratic Party of the United States is not supporting and will not entertain any communist candidate or any Marxist candidate going forward, which would signal that would cut out a lot of what these problems have been, which is trying to change America into some bizarre, place. And that's what people are voting against. I don't think Trump or Kamala Harris or Biden controls the economy the way that most people think. I think the economy is a much larger looming issue. Trump can probably move it a little bit in the right positive direction, but when they were giving trillions of dollars away, that was the problem. And Trump gave trillions away, and so did Biden, and so is every other president. And you print money, and you get the economy we had. So, what do you think, Brian?
So I think that the Democrats are sitting around right now, and they're really trying to figure it out because they've got a donor class. I tried explaining this to Barry. They've got their donors, and their donors are people that are giving a lot of money to keep the politicians elected, but they have this progressive agenda. And they have a lot of people that are in office right now that they want to keep in office. They have to pit that against what, if they want to try to get a lot of these voters back. Now, what we don't know for sure, is how many of those voters that ended up voting for Donald Trump did it for that particular reason, as opposed to they didn't like Kamala Harris. They saw what was going on with Joe Biden. There are myriad reasons why people did not vote for the Democratic candidate.
Right.
They have to figure out what slice of that pie it is, and they might go in the same direction in 2026 if they find out by going in their same direction and hitting harder on the progressive side. If they lose out, then they'll change. I don't expect them to change that much over the next couple of years.
No, I get it. And I think they're going to try to, in these states that are Democrat states, they're going to basically put the pitchforks out and try to firewall their states. But it does, and Trump shouldn't go fight state to state. That would be a mistake because the states vote for who they want in place.
Bingo.
But I think that, you're a black guy, I'm a white guy. I think that the racism thing that has been, sitting on everyone's shoulders as a discussion point I think that the Democrats use that every chance they get between that and Nazis and to basically try to keep people in a box. And I think that a lot of people have re-examined racism in America and racism within their own lives and how they interact and said, you know what, this isn't as racist a place as you all think it is.
I would not. I caution you, do not go down that particular road because I don't think you are correctly reading those tea leaves. People made
it's
it.
My personal observation.
No, I know it is. I know it is, and many others are thinking the same way. I would not think that way. I think people frayed away for other reasons, but not necessarily because of the race card issue. Got to let you go with that. 508-996-0500 to get onto the program. In Wareham, 43 degrees. Dartmouth, 42. New Bedford, 43. Oh, let's see. Seth Moulton, Congressman Seth Moulton.